Do processed meats like deli meats and bacon increase our cancer risk?
Yes, if we consume them in excess. So, studies that have looked at dose responses, which I think are really, really important for understanding this question, show that when our consumption gets above, I think it's 50 or 60 grams a day, it's about 2 ounces. That's when we start to see risk of cancer go up. But there's an important, like, cliff note, like little footnote, not a cliff note, a little asterisk to this answer, which is that this entire field of study is quite complicated by something called healthy user bias. So, healthy user bias refers to the situation where a lot of different health promoting behaviors or the opposite stack, and it becomes really hard to separate out the kind of additive effect of all of those behaviors in the statistical analysis. So, for things like red meat having been maligned for decades now as being like a major contributor to cardiovascular disease, people who don't eat a lot of red meat also tend to eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, live an active lifestyle, right? They tend to be a higher socioeconomic status, which is a social determinant of health that's really important for lowering risk of cardiovascular disease. So it's really they're less likely to smoke, right? They're less likely to drink. They're more likely to engage in a lot of different health related behaviors, as well as just have been dealt a luckier hand in life just because of social determinants of health. So it's really hard in the statistical analysis to account for like all of those things, right? There's a little bit of residual that newer studies are starting to show that when you can really account for all of those things, it doesn't look like red meat increases risk of cardiovascular disease when you separate it out from processed meats. But processed meats, it maybe do, but processed meats are even more strongly associated with people who eat fewer fresh foods, less fruits and vegetables, or they're more likely to be sedentary, more likely to smoke, more likely to be moderate or heavy drinkers, right? So this field of study still needs better controlled uh, like trials to really understand if you're eating a lot of deli meats, but you're also eating a lot of fruits and vegetables, you're also active, you're getting enough sleep. Like, we don't really know, I think, definitively yet if processed meats are still associated with increased risk for cancer in that context or cardiovascular disease in that context. So, what I can say is for sure, couple ounces a day in any context, totally fine. More than a couple ounces per day in the context of a lot of other, healthy eating patterns and healthy lifestyle habits. We don't actually fully know yet. So, yeah, more science with really, really, like, well controlled science, like intervention studies. That's what's needed.